So, this is not for CHIKARA. I'm not allowed at the office right now. That's why you don't see the banner behind me. I'm doing this for myself. People want to know what happened after the Tampa show. Well, after I beat Kong, I started hearing rumblings. Started hearing boos. And I started hearing chants of Green Ant. I started hearing chants next world champ for Green Ant. You see, so I couldn't understand it. Why would the people chant that at someone like me, who's their first grand champion, who was a man who defended CHIKARA against everybody? I didn't understand it. So I go back to the hotel room, take a couple swigs of poison so I can go to sleep. But I couldn't. I just kept hearing the boos. And I kept hearing next world champ. And I'm tossing and I'm turning in that bed. I get up, take a couple more swigs of the poison. Still couldn't sleep. By the time this is all said and done, I finished the whole bottle off. And I began to stare at myself in the mirror. And what I started seeing is something I didn't like. I wasn't Eddie Kingston. I wasn't the last of a dying breed anymore. I was what people wanted me to be. You see, that's never been my deal. I've never done anything for anybody else but myself. I am what I am. I do what I do. No one can change me. And it got me sick to my stomach as I stared at myself in the mirror. So, the poison in my body, the anger of seeing myself in the mirror, of being somebody else, I decided to punch that mirror and break it. And it cut my hand, cut a tendon. I wake up the next morning covered in blood on the floor, and I say to myself, no big deal, put a Band-Aid on it, because I'm not the smartest man in the world. Even though I could see white, I was like, not a big deal. I decided to leave the hotel room and start walking to clear my head, maybe sweat out some of that poison. I get picked up and I get taken to the emergency room because the blood was all over the place. As I wait 4, 5, 6 hours, I don't even know how many hours I waited in that emergency room in Florida, I start looking at the clock and seeing that I was not able to make the Orlando show. And to be quite honest with you folks, the CHIKARA fans at that point in time and the boys in the locker room at that point in time did not deserve to have me at that show. For all the things that I've given to this company, for the boys and for the fans, to boo me or look at me sideways, I take as a slap to my face. Disrespect. So I didn't make it to the Orlando show. And on a side note, for the fans that are mad about that, you don't have to like it. You don't have to respect it. But just like the boys in the back have to do, you have to deal with it. So I had the surgery 2 weeks later to put the tendon back together. One of the sickest things I've ever seen in my life was when I finally went out from the anesthesia. I had a dream. And to my right, I see my family members crying. Didn't understand. To my left, I looked and I saw all my brothers that have died. All the men who I've known, and even the men who I didn't know. Just respected and watched on tapes. All my brothers that died in this sport are to my left. And they kept saying something, and I couldn't make it out. First it started out as a whisper. Then it got louder. And I just couldn't make it out. Surgery's done. I come back to beautiful New York. And I keep having the same dream. Family members on the right crying. my brothers in arms to the left whispering, and the noise would get louder and louder and louder. And so finally, a couple nights ago, I can finally understand what they were saying. They were saying, you are Eddie Kingston. You're nothing else. You are the grand champion. Nothing else. And the only thing that matters is victory or Valhalla. So Hallowicked, tomorrow. See, I'm doing this on my own. I just want this a message for you. Tomorrow, Wrestlecon. We're going to steal the show. Not because you did great. Because people understand what victory or Valhalla means. Ladies and gentlemen, like it or not, I don't care. I'm Eddie Kingston, the last of a dying breed, and your grand champion. The old king is back.